Hello.
Hi.
I'm Dr. Bashir Khan?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
all right.
You can go for the informal version.
DB, right?
Yeah,
Is what you
why
said.
not?
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
not?
okay.
DB,
Yeah.
thank you for having us here.
I'm really glad you visited. I've been told you went to the Jalsa. You were at the Jalsa.
We
Yeah.
were, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm glad you came. Were you able to look around?
Yeah,
In the morning?
we did some interviews with people.
Mhm.
And,
Oh, awesome. That's
Kind of like this,
excellent.
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
A little bit more
Great.
informal.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Pleased about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about the institute here, about
Okay.
what people, what students can expect to learn here, and what is taught, and all that.
Hmm. I'm new, so
Okay.
I've only been here 3 years, and unlike many of my colleagues who've been here much longer, I think Farhan Qureshi probably described things in detail. But basically, we're like a theological seminary,
Mhm.
and it's training young missionaries to serve in various parts of the world, predominantly in the U.S. and South America,
Okay.
because we have similar institutes in India, Pakistan, Germany, Ghana, the United Kingdom.
Mhm.
But this is an international one. So we're very happy because we have students from the US, other than Canada, the US, Australia, the Holy Lands, Japan.
Which are the Holy Lands?
Well,
Curious.
they're actually Palestinians who
Okay.
reside in Israel.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So they're
okay.
Israeli citizens, but of Palestinian origins. We have
There's an
three-
institution in Israel too, right?
not like this. No,
No, not a
Not a
seminary.
thing, no,
okay.
no. So they come over here, and so we have three from there. We've got a Jordanian student as well, so it's great. It's a nice mass. So with it's great to see the Canadians interacting with the Australians, making fun of the way the Australians speak.
Mhm.
Coming from Canadians, that's great. And then the Americans, of course, are constantly talking about American football. They've got ice hockey. They've got Australian rules football. So, and I encourage that in class anyway.
Sure.
So, but I only joined 3 years ago. I came from Pakistan. I am a teacher of business in Pakistan for 30 years. Over here, I'm looking after academics, and I'm teaching English language and writing, but mainly language. We want them to. It's a 7-year program, and we want them when they graduate that they should be very articulate. Speaking for myself in English, but they're also taught Arabic, Urdu, Persian, and so we'd like them to we feel very comfortable because their entire future careers rest on their ability to interact with
Mhm.
others.
They learn Farsi too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
oh,
teach
okay, no,
Farsi.
okay.
Yeah.
So students leave this, after when they graduate, they can speak a lot of different languages.
The level to which they will speak will. I was making fun of my Australian students. I said, "Listen, I mean, you guys don't speak English, but it will vary. Obviously the ones for whom Arabic is his first language,
Yeah.
the Arabic is extremely fluent, and yes, we want to bring them up to par in all of these languages.
Mhm.
Because as I keep on telling them, they'll probably spend time interacting with you guys,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and so they have to be able to think on their feet, and they have to be articulate. So we do a lot of extemporary speeches, debates.
Mhm.
I make them do presentations on everything from the existence of God to French fries. As long as it,
And every student is expected to go on mission at some point then?
Well, I think, like every other college, the way I look at this place, I'd like it, my vision for this place is that it becomes like a top class college, private college.
Mhm.
So not every student will go out in the field. They will serve the community in one form or the other. Some of them will work in offices. The ones who are particularly brilliant, I think, in terms of their interaction with other people are the ones who go out in the field. And some of them are really, really good. I feel, that they can easily run rings around me in terms of their knowledge and things. So that's nice.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's the background. We teach them languages. We teach them comparative religion, the history of Islam, Islamic, and then of course the Quran and the Hadith and the traditions of the Holy Prophet. sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and so it's a pretty vast topic. And this we are. Sorry to interrupt. I'll leave it open to you, Greg. We are a DLI. We are a designated learning institute in Canada, so it's recognized. So that's one really.
So there's
positive.
also secular education that goes on, like mathematics and things, or
No math, but it's basically the languages, which is
Okay.
yeah. They have to have a high school diploma when they arrive here
Okay.
because it's part of the admission requirements. And
So three things come to my mind. One is it would help. I think, people who are going to be watching this video, or especially like just kind of learning about Ahmadiyya,
Yes,
and
yes.
so people are probably pretty curious about distinctive aspects of it, and so it could help as well as I think for Ahmadis, my sense is also being able to not just talk about differences, but also where there is commonalities, because there's often misunderstandings
Yes.
about Ahmadiyya. So maybe one thing you could talk about is where is like common core stuff that you guys teach, like that wouldn't be necessarily distinctive from
absolutely.
Sunni or
Not just
Or
with
Shia.
other Muslim sects,
Yeah.
Islamic sects, but with other faiths. I mean,
Okay.
the simple fact is that I think what distinguishes the Ahmadiyya community is that we really subscribe to that motto of ours, that love for all, hatred for none.
Mhm.
And one of the things which in every class we are exposing our students to is the commonality. I think very simply, monotheism starts with that. The recognition and respect for all the prophets. There are 25 prophets mentioned in the Quran, and I think and that's something that the students prescribe. We have a salutation that we always use behind the founder of our faith, but we also have salutations for each of the other prophets. For example, if I were to say the name of the prophet Jesus, I would use a salutation after about peace be upon him.
Yeah.
Because this is our form of respect. The other thing that we are very, very strong on is that in order to be a good Muslim, you have to be a good citizen, of regardless which country you come from. So if you're Canadian, then your patriotism is to Canadian. I only became a citizen, 5 months ago, and I have now decided that as people making fun of my extended family makes fun of me because they said you're more Canadian than the Canadians. I said, well, for me that's what it is. So I think that's their part as well. We stress the importance of respecting places of worship, respecting the rule of law, condemning violence in any form, especially directed against those who are not combatants, etc. We try and live peacefully. We do not indulge in demonstrations even on the streets, because we feel that you're more effective if you
Politically, I mean.
yes
Yeah.
That if you have dialogue, it's much better than to go out, and especially because our concern is always that many of these there's no harm in showing that you believe in something or that you disagree with something, but it has to be kept within the law. And sometimes very often these things become violent. So we try and stay away from
Protests
that.
can definitely spur emotions and things.
Yes. And with everything. And so that's part of their training over here. And above all, I think I'm not a missionary myself, by the way. And I'm not even a life devotee. Like many of my colleagues are life devotees. They've sort of committed themselves. You have that in in the Christian faiths as well. People who sort of, we haven't gone to
monastic
Not
tradition.
necessarily. So let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So this was something I haven't, because I've been interacting with the Ahmadiyya community for a few years.
I'm sorry to
quite a
interrupt you,
bit.
but I think
Yeah.
a non-Christians, the Church of Scientology has life devotees, but
Okay.
they don't fall in the category.
They don't fall into
Christianity.
the Christian.
Yeah. So I just
yeah.
wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
But they have something similar. But we of course you have those people who have given themselves to the faith, even in Christianity. Yeah.
So it might help this. So because a lot of people might not know about Scientology.
Yes. No, I'm going to keep them. We'll stick to our.
But especially in Islam, let's say Islamic context, broadly Islamic. So I know, often when I've interacted with the Ahmadiyya community, sometimes I'll use the word imam.
Yes.
And then somebody will say, well, we don't really use that. And then they'll talk about language more like missionary or devotee.
Yes.
Maybe you can explain and connect it with graduation. So when somebody graduates from the 7-year program at the Jamia, which is university, right? That's what Jamia means? Okay. Do they become a devotee or do they become a missionary?
No. You can be a life devotee even if you're not.
Even if you don't go to this.
Yes. I mean, we have.
That's like a commitment.
That's a commitment. Yeah. So you basically give your time, your life is spent here, working for the community in different capacities.
So if you graduate, does that make you a missionary?
Yes. You can be a missionary here if you're posted in the country, or you can go abroad as well. Yes.
Okay.
Effectively, we use the term murabi and mubaligh to distinguish between whether you're in your home country or whether you're international. But you can actually, even in these different religious programs, they have these gradations, and that's one that's a question you should ask some of my colleagues, because I always claim I'm the secular one here.
Secular?
Yeah, in the sense that I'm not a missionary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not a missionary. I don't even know some of the... and I'm very honest with people, I don't even know some of the gradations. But
So something that I thought, and maybe you can...
And I'm not a life devotee, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe you can clarify, or we can ask somebody else too.
Yeah.
So my sense was that if somebody graduates from the Jamia, so from the school, then they're basically deciding to make a commitment to serve as a missionary, and then they could be posted anywhere.
They can
they can have all sorts of different roles.
Yes, they can.
Right?
Yes.
So in all those different roles that they might have, like for example, I know a friend who was serving. He was leading a local masjid.
Yes.
But then he got moved to the head office.
Yes.
So now he works in the office.
That's right.
So.
Yeah. That happens.
Is that person would you call that person a missionary?
I would.
Whatever role they're in.
Yes, because they graduated from it. Definitely, and he has all the skills necessary.
Yeah.
To do what we had trained him to do.
And so then normally when we think of Islam, let's say more so like in a Sunni context, we might think of the leader of the local masjid is a mosque is the imam,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So, and even that isn't quite accurate, because it's like somebody who's leading prayers doesn't necessarily mean that they've gone through formal education.
Right. Historically, it's always been the person we feel is the most knowledgeable about.
So we could say the local missionary, like who has been educated through the Jamia, might have, some of them will have a role of leading.
Yes,
the salat, the prayers in the
absolutely
masjid.
Right. You've got it absolutely
okay.
right. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
And then, so let's come back. So when I was bringing up commonalities, so that's great. You were talking kind of about the big picture commonalities in terms of what's believed and taught. I'm really curious in the academic aspect, because that's really your role. In terms of what is common that's taught, let's say, as compared with not other religions, but let's say Ahmadiyya and Sunni. So some people wonder, maybe Sunnis would wonder, do Ahmadiyyas believe in the same, like the Sunnah Sitta, the 6 major hadith collections?
Oh yes, absolutely.
What about Sirah? Which works would you guys study? That kind of thing.
Absolutely. If you look around, even on the exhibition, and we had this. I don't know. Were you able to attend the book exhibition?
I was.
Yes.
He lives in the U.S. So.
You're in. Okay. Where do you live? Sorry.
PA.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I was at Penn State.
Huh?
Yeah. Did my master's there.
Oh, yeah. I only live like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, State College. Yeah. Okay. Yes, it's all there. I think as far as the Holy Book, as far as the importance of the traditions, the Sunnah, the Hadith, and the importance of the ranking of the Hadith. I think you
like
attend the
Sahih
exhibition.
and
Yes,
etc.
yeah. There's absolutely no difference. I think differences have arisen over time on certain doctrinal issues about the death of the Prophet Jesus, the return of the Prophet Jesus. Those are the issues.
Sure.
Which, yes, but otherwise.
And so that would also mean that there would be a hadith that might be on those topics, where would you say that there'd be differences in interpretation maybe between
there are differences,
but not necessarily rejection of those.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Plus, interesting enough, you probably have some background from Farhan, and you've seen that we have that for us, our Imam we usually refer to the Khalifa of the time,
Mm-hmm.
and the Khalifa of the time is almost like a succession to Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, peace be on him, whom we believe to be a prophet, and we call him the Messiah and the Mahdi. Now, interesting enough, all the Muslim communities, sects, do believe in the same thing. It's just their interpretation is that he may be coming at a different time.
And also that he will be physically the same individual as Isa, right?
Yes, and
right.
So for us it's more of a metaphorical thing than in the actual
or
physical.
spiritual.
Yeah, but for us also the Quran has lots of metaphorical things which some people take literally.
Yeah, so that's why I thought it would help even just to be able to specifically name or identify some of the written sources that you guys would be studying.
Oh, absolutely.
So that Sunnis can also understand that it's not like you're studying all sorts of different
No,
things.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you like, we can even get you the syllabus of the
Okay.
thing.
I'd love to see it myself.
Absolutely. And
we can do that later.
Farhan, I don't know if you get time, but people like Chima Sahab, who teaches comparative religion, maybe Hafiz Hiba,
So I'm just curious, like specifically, like, do you guys? How would you regard, like, in terms of Sira literature, like Ibn Ishaq, Ibn Hisham, like, is that a writing that you guys would study? Do you have regard for that? Or
I really think we need to get to the syllabus, because
Okay.
they actually cover stuff which I didn't even know about.
Oh, okay.
Because
okay.
of my own field.
Right.
Yeah, but yes, they do cover amazing
Your field is
amounts of
business,
stuff.
right? You said.
Well, yeah, and
That's
English.
your
Over here,
English,
it's language
yeah.
and communication.
Okay.
But yes, I was actually, because it was my first time I had seen the exhibition, I was myself surprised at the extent to which they cover the amount of material they cover.
Yeah.
And they cover some, because they also learn Arabic here,
Mm-hmm.
some of the stuff they're trying to cover in the original languages, including writings by the Promised Messiah, which would be maybe in Urdu. So that's one of the reasons why the language is taught, so they can go back to the original format.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're in your size. I've always found that I had a professor back in England who I once did a paper for her, and she said, "It's not bad, but you should read the original." She said, because there's no meaning other than what there is in the original. And I learned there that if you can learn the language, there's nothing like it.
Sure.
Yeah. But since I don't want to misguide you in any way, it's better to talk to somebody
that's fine.
who's
that's
more
fine.
better tuned to the religious part.
We're around, so.
But yes, anything to do with the English language, yes, you can ask me here what we do, or anything about anything else. Sure, go ahead. In terms of, at the moment, we have been revamping some of our courses. By the way, we discovered that English, Urdu, Arabic, the way we were teaching them needed to be modernized. Mm-hmm. So the English book I came across when I started looking at it was from the 1950s, and it had language which would not be politically correct nowadays. And so I completely revamped it. So I chose a book which the British Council is using now, and so we're trying to do that, so bring it up. And we did the same thing with Urdu. We decided that the changes need to be made. Mm-hmm. The process of each course now has to be looked at and revised. So you have to come back and interview me in about 3 years.
Okay.
Because it's going to take
Well, in
that.
Canada, 3 years, what is politically correct now is not going to be politically correct
I
in
know,
3
but
years.
3 years is what. Because ideally, you would like every course to be re-examined every 2 years,
Sure, yeah.
and then.
I'm just joking.
And what I'd like is every faculty member to make a presentation on what he is going to teach, and why he is going to teach, what his expected outcomes are, the goals. But so we've done that for 3. I think we have something like 40 courses total. So we still have 37 to go. So
Okay.
give me 3 years. It's going to take some time.
Wow.
Yeah.